Hi guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? First I want to note that I'm wearing my blue pants. I have a friend named Britt. She's really cool. She answers the phone a lot of the times when my other friends don't. And I told her she asked me to find a B and put on my, because her favorite color is blue. So she wanted me to put a B for Britt on my blue pants, and I did. And I have wearing these right now. So thank you for being my friend, Britt. So I want to go live about changing my string on my broken string on my pink Jem guitar, Jem Jr. I actually like Jem Jr.'s better than Jem's, actually, by the way, and then plus they're cheaper. So I had to get new strings, and I didn't have the D string broke, which is a 24 gauge in my sizes that I use. So I had to go to Bertram's Music, but they didn't have the regular Ernie Ball 9 to 42s. They didn't have a single gauge 24 gauge string, which is a D string for me, but they had the Cobalt in my 9 to 42s, but they're more expensive. But she got me a couple dollars off, which is a good deal, and I bought them anyway. So I got a set of Cobalt Ernie Ball 9 to 42s now. And then I have a few other regular Ernie Ball strings that I from the pack I had that I haven't broken that gauge yet. And then I have an extra fat 46 one, which I use for my seventh string guitar. So I have a Cobalt 24 gauge for my D string. Do you guys think I should just change the whole guitar? Because if I have one string that's Cobalt, it'll sound different than the others, and I don't really want that. So I think I'm just going to change the whole pink guitar to Cobalt right now. I just thought of that while I'm talking. Plus these things are getting kind of grody, so I'm going to just change the whole restring the whole thing. So I just go live with this. I don't, just in case you guys want to see my process. So these are Cobalts. They're normally $12. She gave them to me for 10, which is cool. So let's put them in order so I don't mess that up. I usually I got to think about this for a second. Which do I do first? I got to think of my own process. I always put the high string on first. So let's go 42, and then 32 is yeah, I do put the high strings on first. Yeah, that's how I do it. Then the 24, then the 16, then the 11, and then the 9. So these are Cobalt 9 to 42s. I'm going to restring this sucker. And Allen wrench. By the way, these are hard to find by themselves like this. You have to got like a whole set, and they're all stuck together, really hard to use, and then you got to buy the whole set, and it's just a mess. So first you unlock the locking nut, and once again, I didn't bring a trash thing. I'll just have to improvise that, won't I? And then I have it's my little thing where I have my accessories for guitar accessories. I got dikes and string winder. And let's do this sucker. This has a little tree thing here. You can push down and makes the strings tighter so that they're less likely to go out of tune. And I hadn't been using that much. In other words, it had been very loose, but I'm tightening it lately because I think it helps keep the thing in tune more, to have a little tension there, so it doesn't just go straight to the where you wound it, where you wind it, because then that's the weakest point. If you can put a little tension on the string, I think that helps that strings to stay in tune. Now, do I have everything I need? Do I have everything? I have dikes. I have string winder. If I don't, let's see. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so let's start with high E string. So you loosen it first. Yeah, cool. And this is boring to me, but if you guys like to see I need a whammy bar to help. I'll be right back. I had a feeling I was missing something. I will be right back, I promise. I have to go in the living room and get my All my whammy bars in my living room. I'll be right back. Thank you. I'll be right back. I use the whammy bar while I'm changing strings to keep the bridge from going haywire. You know, like people use an eraser or something to stick under there to keep it level, but I figured why not you just use the whammy bar. And then I got my smaller screwdriver here in case I need it for anything. I don't like this bigger one, but it's good to have multiples of, you know, more than one of each of whatever I need. So then I use the whammy bar here, and then I loosen the high E. Yeah, so it can be replaced. Oh, and I got this tuner thing here. I don't know if I showed you guys this. I got this tuner thing at Bertrand's. It was only $20, and it's a good little. Make sure you know what pitch you're at if you need to know that. I haven't really used it yet, but it's there to use, and I think it's useful. I think it will be useful. Okay. And I didn't say, but when I was doing my metronome take before, I did a metronome take of a jam. I didn't announce what the metronome changes I was making were. So let me do that now. If you guys want to go back to that one, if you don't, that's cool. I went to 5/4 time at one point, and I didn't even announce that. I should have been more professional about that. She said, "Now I'm going to 5/4 time," and then I changed the tempo. I just incrementally. I went from 120 to 126 to 133. You know, just having fun. But I changed to 5/4 time. If you wondered what was going on, that's what was going on. You can change the tempo. You can change the time signature and the tempo, which is a cool metronome. And I think 5/4 time is cool sometimes. But there, see, I got it out of there. That's good. That's a good thing. And while I was gone, I could have got a trash can, but I didn't say I was getting that. I was trying to keep what I said I was going to do, and just that. Like, okay, so then I take it around like this. Yeah. Ow. Oh, why did I get the feeling that was going to happen? I poked myself. Yeah, wimp. I'm a wimp, aren't I? Look at how much I reacted. Just a little thing in my little poke in my thumb. It hurt though for a second. A lot of that's more the shock of it than the actual pain. But okay, get this wound up here. I just had a feeling I don't want to go on about it. This is just trash, and I don't have a trash can, so I will lay it here. And then when I use my 9 gauge, I'll use the paper for this trash here when I get my 9 gauge string out. Okay, so I'm just being slow and methodical. I'm not rushing through this right now. I feel like I'm in a relax. I'm just in a groovy mood. So I take this. Take the snap. Clip the whatever you call it. Clip the ball off. Now I got trash here, but I got a string in one hand, trash in the other, and string is more important than trash. Trash is secondary to actually what I'm doing. So let's go with that. And then I need the Allen wrench, which is right here. I use my whammy bar to keep it kind of level while I'm doing this. It helps the process. Okay, so I'm going to tighten it here. Okay, tight. Yeah, I like that Tom Petty song that I sang from my lovers. Song called The Waiting is what it's called. The waiting is the hardest part. The hardest part about singing a cappella to me is finding the right key that I want to be in, because I don't have perfect pitch. So I just have to sing until I find a good key. And by the time I found a good key, I've sang in different keys, and I've gone down to pitch, and as I'm finding the key I want to be in, I'm messing up. So it's not perfect, and I don't cheat and use like a pitch that I sing to, because that's kind of cheating to me. That's using something other than my voice for the process. And when I say a cappella, I want to say, well, when I say I'm only singing, that's the only instrument I get to use is my voice. I don't get to use a pitch pipe or something to tune to. That's still not just using my voice, isn't it? So I just have to go the way, find the right key I want to be in, and I don't have perfect pitch. So sorry about that. As I found the key I wanted to be in, And I didn't practice ahead of time. I didn't tune up to myself. I didn't hum a pitch before I went live to make sure I would sing to that pitch. I just went live cold, because that's what I like to do. I like to just go out, put myself out there. I've done things on my lives that I haven't done by myself, literally, in my life. Like I've never learned Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, but I went live and just learned it in front of you guys. I had never derived what this, I had never derived Euler's theorem, and I did it in front of you guys. I had never proven that that the derivative of the sine of x is the cosine of x until I did it in front of you guys. So I try to put myself out there, and if I mess up, it's right there on camera, and that makes a vulnerability that I think is honest, and I think is cool that I try to do. I'm not saying I'm great and all that, but that's what I try to do, is be honest, is put myself out there on my channel. See, all the trash went in this, and then I just kind of close it up and hope I don't get stuck again by the metal. So, okay, there's that. See the metal sticking out? Just as I said that, there's metal sticking out. Well, nothing's perfect, right? Okay, so that's that, and that's the 9 on there. Of course, I've been over the string tree again. I do that so much. Am I a careless person? But now it's under. I noticed it. I didn't get it too tight first. I didn't tighten it up with it over it. You got to get it under this thing, not over it. You know, that's, first of all, that's not where it goes, and second of all, it stretches the string wrong and stresses the string. Did you know that stress and strain are two different things in materials engineering? They're not the same thing. They're different words that actually have different meanings in materials engineering. I took a class in materials engineering at Harvard College. The professor was Professor King. He was cool. He took me for a ride in his truck, and he liked Stevie Ray Vaughan. And we argued about who's the greatest, Stevie Ray Vaughan or Alan Holdsworth. Talk about a mismatch. But now I like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's great. But at the time, I didn't understand it, or I didn't like it. I wasn't into blues and blah, blah, blah. So we argued. I said, Alan is the greatest. No, Stevie Ray Vaughan is the greatest. He has flash. He's a blues player. And I didn't care I didn't care anything about it. But now I really love Stevie Ray Vaughan. He was awesome. Or, you know, died in a helicopter crash in 1991 or something. Or 90. I think it was 91, but it might have been 90. Okay, now I'm doing, I mean, what is that? Why do they all have to go, why do rock stars have to die in helicopter and plane crashes? I don't know. I don't understand that. Okay, so now I'm doing the B string. I get it loose first, and then undo it from the bridge. And I got to make sure this E that I put in is still, it's nice and tight there. That's a good thing. So I'm loosening this. I'm just showing my process. You know, I try to be genuine. I try not to pull punches. I'm not really good at pulling punches. I'm not good at faking to be something I'm not. So why try, right? Why try at something I'm not even good at? If you're gonna try something, at least be good at it. But I'm not good at faking things. I'm not good at faking something I'm really not. I'm just not good at that. I don't think I ever have been. Come on, get out of there, you sucker. They get stuck in there or something. I don't know. They get stuck. Well, let's get it out of there anyway. And I don't want to force it. I could yank it really, really hard and just yank the crap out of it, but I really don't want to do that. I want to get it out gently. Okay, like this. Let's get out of there. Oh, geez, it's stuck in there or something. All right. It's very loose, but it's still stuck in there somehow. Okay, I did it. Okay, that's cool. And that should be the way it should be. I hope that pin is in right. I don't know. Should I check the pins, you guys, as I do this to make sure they're in right? I didn't check it on the high E. Maybe I should check it right now. I mean, it's from now on. Let's see if I should check that. Yeah. All right. This is the old B string. And plus I get to try new cobalt strings and see if I like them. I'm not really into paying 12 bucks for a set of strings, but what if I really like these cobalts and end up using them and it was just an accident that I found out about them because they didn't have their other kind? It's possible. Life is funny. Okay, so this is trash. Stick it in this paper here. Okay, let's see. Should I check this pin? Make sure it's correct. Let's just take it out since I mentioned it. Should I check that? See if it comes out easily. I'll let it happen. If I have to force it, I'm not going to bother. I don't like forcing things. I just don't. Get out of there. Do you want to come out of there, guy? I'm not going to force it. And it's probably in right. It's in however the factory had it, and the factory probably had it in right. It's more likely than not. Gonna come out? It did. It did. And make sure it's in there right. I just checked it now, so now I know it's in right. I didn't check the high E. I should have probably, right? Be consistent with my process. It just didn't come to me to do it until the B string. I get it back in there, guy. Nope, got it in. Okay, it's in right. I hope that E is in right too. I can't undo it now. That would not be good for the... But it would have been nice if I would have checked that then, but I didn't. Okay, this is the 11 gauge for my B string. All right. Yeah. Put the ball off. Put that in the trash thing. Trash paper. Okay. Yeah. Get tightened in there. All right. Tighten the sucker. All right. You know what? I'm going to do something weird. I think I should check that other pin that's in the high E. I have a feeling it might not be in there right, and that would not be good for anybody. But I should have checked it before, but I didn't. So I may undo it and try and check it to make sure it's in. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do that because it looks like it's good. I can tell by looking, it looks like it's good. So I'm going to use that judgment to not have to traumatize the instrument by taking the string back out. It looks right. I would bet a lot that it's right because it looks just like the other one, which I just tested and which I know is in right. And that high E one looks good. So I'm going to just go with that. I'm not going to take the string out and cover my own mistake with a traumatic thing for the guitar. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so the B string. These cobalt strings feel kind of different than the others. To be honest, they actually might be at a different metal or something. And it's cobalt, right? So I tighten it up here. All right. It's a good thing for a thing called progress. Like when you're a musician and you make progress. Whenever I go live and stuff, or I jam and stuff, I like to have made progress since the last one, or I don't feel good about it as much. It's a good thing music is an infinite thing, and it's a good thing there's such a thing as progress because it keeps me playing, keeps me interested in my process, so that I have something new to show you guys when I go live. It may not be new to you, it may not be that obvious to you that something is new, but to me it is, and so it makes me feel good about going live again. All right. And clip. And my makeshift, which I've never used that word in my life. Did you guys know that? I've never used the word makeshift till just now. In my life, ever. Like I have a good memory and I know I haven't. My makeshift trash can is a piece of paper the strings came in. So now I've got 2 strings in this one. I'll make sure that they're in there good is all I'm doing right now. I've never used the word makeshift in my life. I've never said that word, makeshift. Okay, a piece came out, but that's okay because I have another one anyway. I have the second string has a paper also that I can use. This piece of metal that just came out of there. Makeshift. I've never used that word. So this little guy can go in the paper for the 11 gauge string that is now available as a trash thing. All right, so good. So I make sure both these are tightened. Yeah, that high E looks good. It looks like the little pin is in there, right? Because it looks just like the second string one. So I would bet it's in right. A lot. I would bet a lot that it's in right. Okay, that's 2 strings. They sound different. Like they sound more something. I don't know, more something. I'm not sure what that adjective would be. Not adverb, but adjective. Okay. All right. Let's get this third string out. Careful with I'm doing it, but I'm not so careful that I have to be like paranoid. Okay, so go like this. Clip the ball off. And then this third string thing paper has a thing for trash now. All right. So put the third string in. I didn't take the third string out yet. Oh, slip, huh? All right. Well, let's take it out. Funny, right? All right. You got to take the third string out before you put the new third string in. Unfortunately, I didn't. There's no harm done there. It just means that I was kind of dumb. I like songs that have the word dumb in them. You guys know that? The song called Dumb by Nirvana. There's a song called Dumb All Over by Frank Zappa. I love those 2 songs. I think I'm dumb. Whoever we are, wherever we're from, we should have known by now our behavior is dumb. We are dumb all over. If our chances expect to improve, it's going to take a lot more than trying to remove the other race or the other whatever from the face of the planet altogether. How did he write that? Dude, that guy's a genius. Whoever we are, wherever we're from, we should have noticed by now our behavior is dumb. And if our chances expect to improve, it's going to take a lot more than trying to remove the other race or the other whatever from the face of the planet altogether. It's amazing he could write like that. I mean, that perfect selection of words from the English language to make a point and sound so cool, eh? Got it out of there. That's a good thing. Whoever we are, wherever we're from, we should have noticed by now our behavior is dumb. And if our chances expect to improve, it's going to take a lot more than trying to remove the other race or the other whatever from the face of the planet altogether. Dude, nobody can write like that. That guy was a genius, man. All right. Calling it like I see it is all. All right. Wind this thing up. Wherever we are, wherever we're from, we should have noticed by now our behavior is dumb. If our chances expect to improve, it's going to take a lot more than trying to remove the other race or the other whatever from the face of the planet altogether. All right. I wish I had written that. I could say, I wrote that. Okay. Let's check the pin like I did the other time. Let's just flip it over. Give it a little push or tap. Get it out of there. Did it come out? Yep. Did I lose it? Nope. All right. Make sure that's in there, right? Make sure it's in there good. And get it in there right, which I'm about to do. And voila, it's in there. All right. Now I need the string that I already got out. All right, stick it in there. All right, I hate to say this, and I don't know why, but this is actually kind of fun, especially since I know I have a new metal, new type of string. It's interesting to me. Like, what do cobalts sound like? I mean, they're expensive as hell, but expense doesn't necessarily mean you're getting a better product, but it's possible and likely you might be getting a better product. This does not guarantee. All right, make sure the others are still tight. Tighten them as you go, because the strain or stress, whichever applies on the string, actually causes it to come looser in the bridge for some reason. Okay, put it in like this. This is the third string. Once again, a shout out to Bertrand's Music on Old Town Front Street. Once again, a shout out to Paradise Chevrolet and Cadillac on Inez Road. And once again, a shout out to Spindles Records in Temecula. They're the greatest, they're the best CD, music CD store in Murray, Temecula. All right, so let's line these up. I'm learning how to get my amp when I do my trilogies, where we can hear my voice now. I know where to put the amp better than I did on the Steppenwolf. I had the amp right up next to the phone, and you couldn't hear me singing at all. So on my Van Halen one, I put it on the floor. It worked pretty good. But that's trial and error. I can't know everything just from nothing. You can't know something from nothing, really. Flippish, and then put it in one of these little makeshift trash cans. Trash some things. They're not cans, but okay. So get that a little tighter. All right. Let's make sure everything is still tight right here. Tight, and tight. All right. Those three are done. Well, they're not tuned, but they're on. All right, now 24 gauge. Well, I don't have to take that one off because it's already missing because I broke it. Hence, I'm changing strings. I'm going to check the pin, make sure it's in correctly. You can loosen it. You can do it by hand at some point. You don't need that on the wrench when it's loose enough. You can just do it by hand. And then pop it out. Make sure I got it in there right. That's what I'm doing. Nope, still in there. Try it again. Sucker's still in there. Let's try to get it out of there so I can check it, make sure it's in right. This time it'll come out. Watch this. It did. Make sure it's in there right. Got that like that. That's correct. Stick the pin in like it should be. Got it. And good. Okay. Now the 24 gauge string. Cobalt string. Okay, cut the ball off. Cutish. And all right. So I'm putting that in now. All right. You can do it by hand at first because it's so loose. You don't need the Allen wrench when it's so loose. You can do it by hand. So I'm tightening it clockwise, righty-tighty, clockwise. And then it gets a little tight, so then you have to use the Allen wrench after that. Get it tighter than your hand can do alone. Okay, that's in. That's in. That's in. I'm not in, but tight. I'm tightening them. Okay. Like this. Like that. And then I give it like an inch, like 2 inches of length. So it has a few wounds, but not too many and not too few. About 2 inches past where the string is going into, and then it usually gives me a few good round wounds, without giving me too many, but enough. Okay. I like my new setup in the hippie room is less clutter because I've got a lot of stuff out in the living room, and I like the hippie room better with it less cluttered. All right, clip that one and flip, and I can go in here. The makeshift trash bins, whatever. Okay, so that's the 4th string. Tighten it a little more. That one does need tightening. It did need tightening, not anymore because I just tightened it. Okay, and it's still kind of loose. All right, fair enough. I wonder if I'm going to like these cobalts. You never know. I might really like them. You never know. You never know anything because we're all done. Okay, this. Taking the 5th string off now. I think I'm dumb. Think I'm just happy. Think I'm just happy. I had a hangover. Had a hangover. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm just happy. I think I'm just happy. I'm trying to Nirvana song called Dumb. I think I'm just happy. Think I'm just happy. I get told I sound like certain bands and people, and I'm usually like, my initial knee-jerk reaction is to say, but I don't want to sound like them. But then I think about it, and it's okay that I do. I get told I sound like Nirvana when I sing. I've been told I sound like Tom Petty when I sing. It's not, there's worse things, right? And there's another person I get told I'm like, if I can just remember it. Who else is it? They say I sound like. There's a couple others that I just can't think of them right now, but I don't get told I sound like Freddie Mercury, in other words. But the people I get told I sound like are cool also. Okay. So I'm trying to think of who the other person is. They say I sound like. I can't think of it right now. Otherwise, I would say what I'm trying to think of. All right. This is the 5th string. And there, I didn't, you know what? I'm scatterbrained sometimes. I check that, but I check the others for, remember? Get the pin out to check, make sure it's in right. Still in there. Hit a little more. Trashy by me. That's not the best thing in the world. Let's put it in a little thing. All right, the fifth thing, whatever that piece is called. Now this is trashy. That's should be in the paper. Now it is. All right, get that thing out of there, you guys. There it goes. Make sure it's in right. You want it in correctly, don't you? And oh yeah, and it is. Come on, get in there. It is incorrectly now. That's a good thing. Now I have the 5th string here. I find challenging, you guys, but I like the challenge. I have like a challenge that I do right now. I challenge myself to like and forgive my haters, because that's harder, than the knee-jerk reaction. Just hate them back. That's easy. That's the path of least resistance in electronics terms. Anybody can do that. Anybody can hate people that hate them. The Bible says, if you love only those who love you, what have you done? Even the publicans do that. Even the pagans love when they are being loved. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. That's the Bible says. It doesn't say just love your people that love you. That's easy. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. That's the hard thing to do. There is some goodness in the Bible. I don't say I'm a Christian, I'm not, but the Bible has some good ideas and good points it makes, like in life. Who cares if you're saved? There's good ideas on how to live and how to think, I think. If loving your enemies and praying for, I don't really pray because I'm not a Christian, but still loving your enemies rather than hating them is the harder thing to do. Often the harder thing is the best thing for some dumb reason. Okay, so I got 2 inches or so out of there, and then I find my string winder, which is under here, and wound the 5th string. Wind the fifth string. I don't think wound is the right word. I'm winding the 5th string. Okay, here we go. Okay, do a little fast. It doesn't have to be that fast, but doing it fast is cool. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's basically there. Let's clip it with the dikes. And clip. Goes in the trash thing. All right. All right. Okay, so I walked 12 hours yesterday. I was really out in it. I had been getting so much sleep and walking shorter walks. Something told me that I could take a longer one. I went all the way to Temecula Valley Parkway, or Temecula Parkway, whatever it's called, and got a fries and a drink at In-N-Out on Temecula Valley Parkway, or Temecula Parkway, whatever. Okay, well, I'm ready for the last string. Oh, don't tell me it's over. All right, so let's get the string out first this time. Do it in the right order. Okay. All right. Yeah, so my challenge is to not hate my haters back. To either like my haters or forgive them, or whatever that means, whatever that is. Just don't hate you guys. Don't hate the haters back. That doesn't prove anything. It doesn't solve anything. It's just the easiest. It's just the path of least resistance, and it's just the easy thing to do. Hence, path of least resistance. That one came up easily, and it just came up before I even realized it did. So 6th string is out, and undo it from the post here. Wind it up a little bit. All right, we're getting somewhere. We're talking turkey. We're making headway. All right, put that in one of these makeshift trash cans. That's all good there. It's all good. Now get the pin out so I can make sure it's in there right. All right, getting better at that. Put it in right, and it is like this is right. So let's put it in. Now the 42 gauge cobalt. Yep. And then put the ball off. Yeah. All right. It's all in the makeshift trash can. All right, get it in there. All right. Tighten it by hand at first because you can, because it's loose enough to be able to. And then when you can't do that anymore, you do it with the Allen wrench. I do it by hand a little more than that. All right, Allen wrench. Well, wait, how's it go again? Well, I might have chased a few women around, but all it ever got me was down. But then there were some who made me feel good, but never as good as I feel right now. Baby, you're the only one that ever knew how to make me wanna live, wanna live, wanna live, live the baby, baby, baby. The waiting is the hardest part. Every day you see one more card. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. The waiting is the hardest part. That song was playing like at Red Lobster, I think was the restaurant. I can't, don't quote me on that, but I think it was Red Lobster was playing it in the park. You could hear it from the parking lot, and there was nobody around. I wanted people to be around, but there wasn't any. But I just started singing it out loud in the parking lot as I was playing it. It's been kind of in my head once in a while since then. Hence, I did it live and I dedicated it to people that, my girls that love me and all that. All right, almost done here. Getting closer, and then I'll just have to tune it up and stuff. I'll tune it up in front of you guys, I guess. Why not, right? All right, tighten that sucker a little more. And tighter and clip. All right, so this is a bit trashy. Take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. All right, it's in there pretty good. Let's make sure they're tight here again. That one's tight. I think that's good. That's a good thing. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. These cobalts tighten good. I don't know if that's always true, but it is true right now. So that's all 6 strings are in. This is trashy right here. I can take it right now, but I'm not going to leave you guys just for that reason. I'll do it when I'm done filming. So see, I respect the live interaction here. And you tighten them, but you make sure that you keep tightening them on the bridge as you tighten them, because they'll loosen up on you. I don't know why. I'm not really sure why that is, but it just is. They loosen as you make the string tighter. That is correct. Why does it sound weird? Because it's buzzing on my. I have to leave you guys for a second because I got to make that pickup a little lower because it's buzzing on there. I'll be right back, I promise. So I'll get my little screwdriver from the living room. Be right back. So I have this little screwdriver to adjust the pickup height on the double call pickups, and it's too high. It's causing the string to buzz. So let's lower that sucker a little bit. Better. Hear that? It's not buzzing on the pickup like it was a second ago. Okay, so let's tighten these up a little bit, tune a little bit. That wasn't too bad, right? We hung in there. We did this. Okay, tighten it a little more even. Tighten. All right, now it's just a matter of getting stretched out and tuning. and tighten again. You just tune them tighter. They loosen in the bridge a little. So retighten them. Level these guys right here. So when you tune, they start at a level point. Beginner's mistake is to not do that and forget it. And I've done that lots of times. That's a D right there. So D would be tuning to this guitar. I know it's a pain. You gotta keep tightening these because you don't want it to slip out when you don't, just tighten them again. Just tuning to this. If this is a D, then I put that as an E flat. But this is going to tune to E flat. And an E flat, D is an E flat. Fair enough. Tighten again back here. See what? And oh, that needed it. I was getting a little looser. Okay, the line bar helps keep the bridge in a good position as I tune up and all that. Okay, tighten much more back here. They do loosen when you tune the string tighter. Oh, that low you need tightening. I'll tighten it once more here. Tight. Tight. Wait, it's all good. Love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.